My name is Dr. Teresa Larson, and I'm the founder of Movement RX. Um, just human being here wearing these amazing headphones. These are my husband's like announcer headphones to help with audio here. But this is like I did about, I don't know, 15 tests of video and audio because this morning's video was super grainy, and I'm redoing what I did this morning now because this information is so important. So I'm doing it from a remote location in Southwest Colorado, and I've got the help of amazing Lindsay Michaels with me today, not on video, but uh, behind the scenes here. And yeah, I know it's noon for some of you in Mountain Time, right? So this is probably not the most ideal time for a lot of you, but hopefully you can tune in later and learn about some of these back pain and neck relief exercises that you can add as movement snacks in your day. I first have a couple announcements, which I'll wait another minute or so because we're going to get officially started at noon. Again, this is a redo, flexing the resilient muscle of doing a redo. Oh well, the morning's video information was great. Video and audio quality were not. Our video and audio quality at home seemed to go with the weather. So moved locations, and I am now announcing this information from a very amazing headset here. And if you'll take note, I'd like to give a shout out to Men Talking Mindfulness podcast, which is run by my business partners, Will Schneider and John McCaskill, who run Men Talking Mindfulness podcast, which is not just for men, but they are men talking about mindfulness, which is also one of the most amazing practices that you can have in your life, right? The gift of being present really is what makes people the most happy. And that's the truth. That's the fact. So mindfulness is the way to get there, right? To create that happiness in the present moment. And so those guys run Men Talking Mindfulness, so definitely check out their podcast. We have teamed up, uh, and well, not recently, in the past couple of years, but recently we've created retreats. So mindfulness adventure retreats. Who doesn't love an adventure out there? I love adventures. And anyway, this our next mindfulness adventure retreat for teams or individuals who are looking to unplug, improve their physical longevity, be pushed, learn to be mindful in any given moment, as well as learn the practice of meditation. Uh, the next one is May 19th through the 21st, which we will put in the link. And until the end of the day on January 18th. So and between now and January 18th, we are giving a whopping $400 off. That's huge of this retreat, right? This is a huge investment for you. So if you are interested and you want to get your journey started now, take a look at the $400 off early bird pricing. So again, myself, my team at Movement RX are teaming up with Men Talking Mindfulness to run these retreats. And you're going to get myself, a doctor of physical therapy there, helping you with your physical longevity and your movement and teaching you ways to be pain free or eliminate the dysfunction that you have in your life. You're going to have John McCaskill, who's a retired Navy SEAL commander turned mindfulness meditation coach, who has a plethora of knowledge and experience with teaching mindfulness and meditation and sharing stories, right? Personal stories. We are all so similar under the surface. And then Will Schneider, who's an amazing yoga instructor and movement educator and mindfulness and meditation coach. The three of us are going to be giving you as much love as possible over the course of 4 days in May. So check it out. But with that, let's get started on the topic of today. So we've got 30 minutes together. And for those of you that are coming on, hopefully this audio and video is better than before. So we're doing take 2, flexing the resilient muscle, both sides. Little side note, Vicious and Delicious here. I named them when I was in the Marine Corps. For all you Marines out there, when I had to do some standing up for a couple fellow women Marines, and had to flex Vicious and Delicious on a few people. Those are the names of these, but resilient muscles are everywhere, right? So I'm flexing mine because Just because something didn't work out this morning, I'm going to do it again now. All right. So, my goal with this session is to give you those 5 exercises. 5 exercises. Now, there's no one exercise that fits all for you, right? Everyone needs something different, but these are good 5 exercises to get started, and you will feel better immediately. And then, if you continue doing them, they will make permanent changes in your tissue if you can stay consistent. That is the key, is staying consistent and making this a habit. Some of you will need more help with your physical longevity, mobility. So if that's the case, please message me. Private message me on LinkedIn or any of these platforms, or email getbetter@movement-rx.com. Or better yet, look into our retreat coming up, because we are diving into your personal physical longevity. Okay. So before I even dive into those 5 exercises, though, which are around neck and back pain, right, I want to share some headlines with you that are kind of funny, and they're wellness trends that are out there. I get some great newsletters. I don't read them all, but there's some fun ones that have a lot of good info in them. But there's one that was like sharing basically the latest titles of some wellness trends that are going on. The first one, I think you might find this humorous. I definitely did. Brush, sleep, and pee your way to better health. The best fitness and wellness tech of CES 2023. CES is, I'm actually not sure what that is, but the title is pretty funny. So, pee, you should pee often, meaning you're hydrated. Sleep is super important for hormones and recovery. And then I'm guessing brush your teeth, but brush your hair. If you watched any of my videos yesterday, I didn't really brush my hair. Um, so that's one of the titles. The other one is ice baths, cryo chambers, grueling hikes at dawn. Why spa goers want hardcore wellness now. Pampering is passe. At Medi spas and wellness retreats, guests are toughing out rigorous treatments now. Okay. Yeah. Ice baths have been around for a long time. And cold immersion therapies are actually very therapeutic for improving your fighting infection and can decrease for disease, as well as your just amount of sick days. Uh, but yeah, it's a trend, right? So it's probably going to be popular now and then fade away. But ice baths, cold immersion, cold showers for 30 seconds can pay huge dividends, and will always pay huge dividends in your health. So keep it up. Even though it's a trend now, keep it up. Let's see. The last one I want to share is the beauty and wellness booking app wars are just beginning. The space where 1.3 billion has been invested in the top 5 platforms is largely unpenetrated, leaving plenty of room for each booking platform to grow. Beauty and wellness booking wars. Really? Is that a great? I don't think that's really a great way to describe it. Okay, not my area. And the last one, it says Super Self Tech, a look at the show's mood boosting, emotional regulating tech launches. Okay, well, first of all, I love tech, right? I don't always invest in it. Tech is important, but we don't need more tech to make ourselves healthy. Actually, we need less tech. We need to learn to unplug. That is timeless, right? The more we're inundated and on, the less healthier we have become. So, again, little plug for the retreat. If you want to actually unplug and get present, check out the May 19th through 21st retreat that we have in the Catskills, New York area. All right, so today I'm speaking to leaders. Who's a leader? Well, anyone who leads a family, has a spouse partner, who wants to take ownership of their own health, or who currently is someone who leads a company. You're a leader, right? Or even if you are part of a volunteer organization, a community where you're doing good work, you're a leader, right? Taking ownership of your health and life. So that's who this is for, right? For those of you that want to pay attention and actually make yourself healthier. And it takes a consistent, it can take consistent daily action. All right. So, and here's the thing, and this is what, when we do presentations for organizations, this is what's front and center. You need to learn to lead yourself first if you can effectively love and lead other people, your loved ones, right? Your people that work for you, or the people that you serve. Right? If you don't actually learn to love yourself and take care of yourself, then it's going to be very hard for you to do that for others, or be there for others and lead others. So, and when you do that, it's easier and you'll be more effective at taking those hard hits in life, because they will come, right? Either you've gone through one, are currently going through one, or you will at some point. So learn to lead yourself first. And I learned that the hard way. All right. So here's a little bit of backstory behind the neck and back pain relief exercises. Okay, and just in terms of what we're going for here is we're trying to improve and increase your movement. We call them movement snacks. So grabbing a carrot or whatever you grab for a snack, let's grab a little movement every 30 minutes. Okay. So the problem, so we say, is being sedentary. It is. It's actually, we're very sedentary in our culture. But as a society, the assumption is that we have pain because of poor posture and slouching. And that's not the whole picture, according to an associate professor of physiotherapy at the University of Limerick School of Allied Health in Ireland. Say that 20 times. But it's it isn't as tidy as we thought. It's not just a postural thing. We have been trying all these fixes with ergonomics, and it is arguably not has arguably not fixed the problem. This woman thinks it is more about needing breaks from the working day with movement. And yes, I would agree. It is about improving your movement during your day. You can't just go to the gym for an hour after sitting for 6 to 8 hours and expect your body to perform. You got to give it little snacks. And Katie Bowman, who's a biomechanist and someone I very much respect in the movement space, says give yourself like every 25, 30 minutes, give yourself some movement breaks. The fix in this article, so I'm quoting an NPR article, which I will put in the blog when we post this later. Here's what researchers think quick hits of movement, sometimes called exercise snacks, may help prevent pain. Why they might. When the brain senses physical or emotional stress, the body releases hormones that trigger muscles to become more guarded and tight, and that's the truth. Exercise counters that stress response by increasing blood flow to muscles, tendons, and ligaments and sending nutrients to the spines, joints, and discs. Yeah, so I like to call it motion is lotion. That's a good mantra, right? You're giving your joints and soft tissue and nervous system some lotion. Feels good, soothing. Versus when you do have, when you sit for a long period of time and you're in a restricted position or you're in pain or have aches, it causes your body naturally to guard and feel tighter. Movement is also hydrating for connective tissues and joints, reversing the stiffness that arises with too much sedentary behavior, says Dr. Helena, director of National Institute of Health's National Center for Complementary Integrative Health, which recently funded more than a half dozen studies on connective tissue and pain. That's also a big mouthful right there. But these people know what they're talking about too. Taking small movement breaks and moving throughout the day, it prevents your body from what she calls congealing. And I like that, even that visual. Nobody wants a congealed body. But getting more motion to those joints and soft tissue is going to be super therapeutic and you will prevent the congealing. So movement snacks can have broader health benefits. They can help with cardiovascular health, muscle loss, halt muscle loss, prevent more muscle loss, reduce all-cause mortality, to reduce the risk of other systemic diseases like diabetes, cancer, etc. Reduce stress, right? Stress is actually another huge thing that's crushing our nation, crushing our globe, like anxiety, depression, like the inability to handle these, the perceived threat of a saber-toothed tiger, which is constant notifications all the time, right? Constantly being on. As much as I'm online now, like the ability to unplug is a total skill that we need, and learning how to down regulate and at any given moment be able to have an appropriate response, distress, eustress with the given situation. That, my friends, is a skill that I've learned in my mindfulness practice, and which is why I teamed up with these two amazing individuals, Will and John. All right. So with that, there's some information and backstory. Now I want to get into the exercises themselves. Okay, so there's 5 of them. And now NPR, I love you, but you missed out on a big one. And the exercises they gave in this article are very desk bound. Whereas let's live on the wild side a little bit. Let's get away from the desk. Let's like move away from the desk. And let's do this one exercise that you missed. Let's do this first. And the first exercise is breath, like learning how to breathe effectively. And why? Because when you learn how to breathe effectively, your breath is the remote control between the brain and body. And if you can learn to breathe more optimally, right, you can actually help create calm in the body, decrease that tightness that happens from aches and pains easier. And it can also calm the stress response that's going on in your brain. So it's a two-way street, which is very exciting. So let's do some breathing here, and let's do it in the form of a box breathing. Now, for purposes of time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you a couple of these breaths, a couple of these techniques. I'm going to teach you all the techniques, but I'm going to do a couple reps of each. But I want you, I'll name the amount of reps that I suggest that you do on your own. I think in total, this whole routine may take you a total of 15 to 20 minutes a day. Think about breaking that up again every 25 to 30 minutes, and it makes it so much easier. And honestly, 15 to 20 minutes isn't really a long time. I'm sure some of you spend that much time in the bathroom, to be honest. Uh, hey, I have. So, all right, breath. Now, what I want you all to do is go and sit up nice and straight and put your feet firmly on the ground. I would prefer you to sit for this one because it decreases the stability requirements. What does that mean? Well, it means that you're not having your body work as hard. And we to learn the breath and be effective with it, because a lot of us are breathing up in here. This will help. So place one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, and we're gonna do a breath wave. So we're gonna inhale for 4 seconds, hold the inhale for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, hold the exhale for 4 seconds, and repeat. Okay. When you breathe in, though, it's breathing in through your nose, filling up the bottom half first. Think about like a weight belt. Breathe into that. Bottom hand first, then top hand. When you exhale, it's top hand goes in, bottom hand goes in. So again, when you inhale, bottom hand goes out first, then top hand. Then when you exhale, top hand goes in, bottom hand goes in. Okay. So we don't want to be doing this breathing. We want to be breathing 360 degrees, as my good friend Dr. Belisa Vranich teaches. All right. So go ahead and place your hands in their appropriate places. And let's go ahead and inhale, bottom hand to top hand for 2, 3, 4. Hold that inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold that exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's repeat again. Inhale, bottom hand and top hand for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold that inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and exhale, top hand to bottom hand for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold that exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I want you to repeat that for 5 reps. Imagine if you take a little break, you can do that for 2 to 5 reps, right? It doesn't take much time, but it's a nice way to calm the body, which therefore also helps calm the mind. That calms the stress response. All right. There literally is a great docu-series called Limitless, and the first episode is on stress, and it teaches us you that technique. Now, I've learned this technique from John. I've learned this technique from my mindfulness meditation coach, Jim Cahill, from Medicine Mind. Like this technique is tried and true, and stick to the basics, right? But this technique is used in a lot of first responder communities, and it really should be used with us, right? Is our stress response appropriate? If not, do some box breathing, and just in general if you have tightness and you need relief and you want to improve your function, learn how to breathe more horizontally, right? 360 degrees versus vertically, and breathe in via breath wave. So, not to say you have to do box breathing with every breath, but breathe low to high, high to low, and so on and so forth. All right, so the next one we're going to do, next exercise, we'll do 2 reps of it, is we're going to hold the position for 10 seconds. I want you to stand up. Okay. And what you're going to do is we're going to hinge. Okay. So I want you to put your feet shoulder width apart. My toes are pointed forward. Okay. Hinge your hips back. Keep that back flat. Okay. Reach your arms over your head, like you're reaching in the opposite direction of your hips. And I'm actually trying to touch my butt to the back of the chair, and I'm reaching my arms in the opposite direction. And I'm going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to stand back up, relax for a second, and do the same thing. Hips back, back flat. Reach your arms over your head and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand back up. All right, so do 5 reps of those for 10-second holds. And what that does is it decompresses that lower back and really opens you up into a little bit of extension, opposite of what we oftentimes do all day on our phones or computers, which is flexion. All right, and it's a nice wake up for our hips. All right, so that will help your neck, that will help your lower back, that will wake up the muscles that protect those 2 key areas. All right, the next one is rotations of the neck. So basically, you just want to get good at neck rotation. Rotate your neck to the right, bring your chin to your clavicle, rotate your neck to the left, bring your chin to your clavicle. Can you touch without any extra mouth opening or shoulder elevation? Right, you don't want to do like this. Isn't an accurate test. Rotating, touching your chin to your clavicle, you're good to go if you can do that without any extra compensation. Now, to help get better at this, which is really important, most of you are going to feel it pulling on one side versus the other. You want to activate your shoulder blades. So roll your shoulder blades down and back, or do this, right? And go ahead and rotate side to side. Okay. And you can do that for 10 reps, really driving your shoulder blades down and back. Now, I like to add a little resistance to this. I'm going to take my hands palm facing up, pull apart, and go ahead and do this. Okay, elbows ideally locked out. For 10 reps. Now, the thing I'm really not good at is counting the reps. But why that neck exercise is so effective? Well, we don't oftentimes get the rotation in our neck we need, and we don't know how far neck rotation we should have. We're not owls, so we know that. That's good. But to test, like the clavicle is a great terrain feature. And getting your shoulder blades active, right? That's also a great way to improve your neck mobility. And so getting your shoulders activated, those muscles that start on the shoulders also touch the neck. So it's a win-win. And so activating them with a banded pull apart or shoulders down and back can be very helpful. All right, that's the third one. So what I want you to do there is 10 reps each side. Okay, nice little movement stack. Now we're going to do rainbows. Oh, these are one of my favorites. So you're going to stand against the wall. Not to be, this is kind of, actually, this is a great like way to be awkward at the office. You want to be awkward at the office? Go stand up next to the wall like this. And you're going to do rainbows just like this. Have a towel in your hand if you want to paint the wall or clean the wall, but you're going to go down and back, right? Really getting a nice chest opening. That's what I want. I want a nice chest opening. My hips are also rotating open. If you don't feel comfortable doing this, feel free to sit down like so and do it in your chair. That will ensure that your hips don't move as much, but hey, we could use all the standing we could get, everybody. So ideally stand and go ahead and do 10 reps each side. Okay. Nice rotation. If this bothers your shoulders at all, just go ahead and draw back like you're drawing back a bow and arrow. A lot of my cues have to do with weapons or some kind of choking situation. But regardless, a good visual, right? Draw a bow and arrow back. And do that for 10 reps each side awkwardly in your office. And your mid back will feel much better. You'll feel more open, a little more awake and alive, and probably be able to breathe a little bit easier. All right, last exercise is the seated chair stretch. The seated chair stretch. Now, I'm going to show you the seated version, and then you can do the. So I'm going to place one foot, okay, my boot on top of my knee, and I'm going to push down my knee and pull up on my foot. Let's see if I can adjust my screen here. Here we go. Just like so. Now, for those of you hard chargers out there who want to do this, Will, you might appreciate this. Yoga stretch. Okay. Go ahead and sit down. Pretend like there's a chair behind you, but there's really not. And have a conversation on your phone if you want, like this. Why not? Be awkward, be ridiculous, kind of the spice of life. Be you, whatever it is. Push your knee down, pull your foot up, hang out here for a sec. You can kind of go in and out of this stretch too. Okay. If you really want to get crazy, go ahead and lean down and touch your calf, right, for a few reps. Get a little bit more hip stretch there. Go ahead and switch sides. Okay. Spend about 90 seconds in this position, ideally, whatever you want to do. Sitting down, right, in a seated, like active seat position like this, reaching down and touching your calf. If you have to fall over, just make sure there's nothing sharp, okay, next to you. That's my disclaimer. All right. So 90 seconds with that one. All right. So let's finish up. There's 5 exercises. There's not a one size fits all. These exercises are literally just a start to help relieve neck and back pain, dysfunction, stiffness, then also improve your performance, right? The more relaxed you feel, the more motion you get to your joints and soft tissue regularly, the better you're going to feel, the more active you'll be. And guess what? You'll enjoy doing the things that you thought you couldn't do. So that's physical longevity for you, right? So the breath, that's the first one. NPR, you missed out on that one. Second, seated and standing hinge, right? With a hold, 10-second hold. So 5 reps of a 10-second hold. The breath one, 5 reps of a box breath. 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out, 4 hold. Seated standing hinge, neck rotations with the bend and pull apart, 10 reps each side. Rainbows, 10 reps each side. Seated chair stretch, 90 seconds each, right? That'll take you probably 15 to 20 minutes max the whole day. And guess what? You're going to feel better. I was just thinking, why is physical longevity so important? That's kind of a word that's been thrown around for a long time, but now becoming more popular, right? If you just look at the titles of some of these wellness trends, cryotherapy, more grueling hikes, things like that, right? We need to push our nervous system. We need to stress ourselves out, learn how to handle that stress, learn to be okay with it, learn to be okay with adversity. That's not something new, but it's a trend right now, but that is timeless. But I was thinking, why is physical longevity so important to me? Well, I'm an older mom. I was running around with my 5-year-old in the snow at a playground, going down slides, climbing upstairs, right? And I can do that stuff. I'm definitely awkward on the little slides, but it's okay. Like I can do those things, and that's super meaningful for me. The fact that I can wrestle with my boys and teach them things and have fun with them and play sports, that's what's important. Yeah, I love going to the gym too and hanging out and being super active, but the fact that I am able to do the majority of physical challenges I set out for myself and can do things with my kids is the most important. And I feel good doing it. And it's because of these consistent drills. Being consistent is the king. Like you're going to learn these things today, maybe apply them today, but you got to do them every day if they feel good, right? Every day will create the consistent change, create the change. So it's not necessarily the drill, it's what you can stay consistent with. Can you stay consistent with these drills? What amount of time can you stay consistent with and just build from there? All right. So with that, that is the end. If you, again, I'd like to put a little plug into our retreat. We are running it May 19th through the 21st in the Catskills of New York. There will be a physical longevity component, a mindfulness component, a meditation component. We will be doing a yoga practice and some fitness training. So it's all inclusive, but the whole idea that you're going to unplug for 4 days, right? Where you're just going to be present with all the given things that we're going to be doing and connecting with people who want and are more mindful. I'll tell you, hands down, as a business owner and the work I do, that has been crucial for our growth. Crucial. It's just people that want to practice this stuff are more thoughtful, are more open minded, are kind, right? And know that being present, they'll know over time that being present is what makes us happy. And so the unplugging, we support each other in the unplugging process. So I hope that you all have a wonderful day. Let me know what you thought of this in the comments. If you have any ideas of what you'd like to see moving forward, every month, twice a month, I'm going to be doing lives where I'm teaching something in the physical longevity space, and because I want to support you all with what you're doing and what journey you're on. And we're all on different aspects of the health spectrum. And so if we can get a lot of you from sick to well to fit, right, you can actually train and prevent injuries and improve your performance at the same time. uh, you can train these stress responses. You can learn to do these more rogue trainings like cold, heat, uh, intense physical training, things, grueling hikes, right? You can do all those things and do them at something that makes sense for you, right? There's a growth aspect to it. Doesn't mean you have to do all those at once, but let's help you transition to making your life a little more deliberately uncomfortable so you can grow and fight systemic disease and fight infection or possible infections even better, and live longer to see your grandkids and feel healthier and more astute, all those things. So I care about those things. Let me know what else you want to learn, and we will see you next time. Thank you very much.